The stars went silent at exactly 0300 Universal Time. Commander Rachel Torres stood in the communications hub of Outpost Meridian, watching as screen after screen went dark. One by one, every human signal vanished: New Terra, Proxima Station, Kepler 442's mining colonies. 47 settlements across 12 star systems disappeared in less than a minute. 3 billion lives swallowed by silence. Rachel had spent 2 decades in deep space. She had survived equipment failures, solar storms, and cascading system crashes. But this was different. This wasn't chaos. This was precision. Lieutenant James Park, her second officer, ran diagnostics again, his fingers trembling despite his effort to stay calm. Every relay between Meridian and Earth was offline. Not damaged. Not malfunctioning. Severed, cleanly and simultaneously. Outpost Meridian was humanity's furthest reach, a research station orbiting a dead moon on the edge of explored space. If something had gone wrong, they would be the last to hear about it, and the first to die. Rachel ordered a full scan of local space. 40 minutes later, the results appeared, and her blood turned cold. Ships. Hundreds, then thousands. They floated beyond the moon, motionless and perfectly aligned. Massive crescent-shaped vessels, black as the void, visible only because they blocked the stars behind them. Each one dwarfed anything humanity had ever built. Rachel initiated first contact protocols and broadcasted a warning. The response was immediate. Every screen flared to life, revealing a tall, thin alien figure covered in dark blue scales that shimmered like oil. 4 eyes stared back without emotion. "We are the Cathy sovereignty," it said coldly. "Your species has been evaluated and found lacking. Your colonies have been neutralized. You will surrender your technology and resources. Resistance will result in extinction." Neutralized. Rachel thought of her sister on New Terra. Of friends commanding distant stations. 3 billion people reduced to a word. She demanded answers. The alien replied with chilling calm: the colonies were surrounded, disarmed, and contained. Humanity could not fight. Could not flee. Could only wait for judgment. Then came the offer. Outpost Meridian was small, isolated, and unnoticed, until now. Surrender, and they would be spared. Rachel looked at her crew, scientists, engineers, explorers. Fear was there. But so was anger. She turned back to the screen. "How many ships do you have?" 6,000, the alien replied. "You cannot win." Rachel nodded slowly. Then she made her choice: "I choose neither." Rachel cut the transmission and turned to her crew. Battle stations. Outpost Meridian was not a military base, but frontier life demanded readiness. Rail guns meant for debris clearing. Missile pods designed for asteroid defense. Mining lasers powerful enough to tear rock apart. Tools, not weapons, but tools could still kill. 3 Cathy ships began advancing, massive and deliberate, more intimidation than attack. Each was 10 times the size of the station. Rachel knew the truth: they might destroy 1. Maybe 2. Survival was impossible. But survival was never the goal. She addressed her crew, her voice steady despite the alarms beginning to wail. They were afraid. She was afraid. But fear did not mean surrender. "We're probably going to die," she said. "But we'll die free. We'll die human. And the galaxy will know we fought." The rail guns fired first, launching projectiles at a fraction of light speed. The lead alien ship's shields flared, absorbing most of the impact, but not all. 3 rounds punched through its hull, venting atmosphere into space. The Cathy responded instantly. Energy beams carved into Outpost Meridian's shields, ripping them apart in seconds. Entire sections depressurized. The eastern habitat ring was lost. Rachel ordered all fire concentrated on enemy engines. Mining lasers burned through alien armor, and the damaged ship's core detonated in a white explosion. One ship down. The cost was brutal. Lieutenant Park was killed when the command center took a direct hit. Rachel held his hand as he died. "We hurt them, didn't we?" he asked. "Yes," she whispered. "We did." 12 minutes later, a lucky missile strike ignited the second Cathay vessel's weapons magazine. It exploded spectacularly. 2 ships destroyed. The station was dying. Half the crew was gone. Life support failed. The final enemy ship closed in, shields intact, preparing the kill. Rachel initiated the reactor overload. Escape pods launched with the remaining crew. Rachel stayed behind. Someone had to guide the station. Someone had to make sure it hit. She aimed Outpost Meridian directly at the alien ship's weak points as the fusion core reached critical mass. In her final moment, Rachel thought of humanity. Then the station exploded like a newborn star. 3 ships for 15 people. Not a bad trade. High Executor Valner of the Cathay Sovereignty studied the reports in disbelief. By every metric, the invasion was a success. Human fleets disabled. Colonies surrounded. Communications severed. 3 billion humans trapped. They should have surrendered. Instead, they fought. On Nutra, armed civilians met Cathay troops with hunting rifles and improvised weapons. The battle lasted 6 days. The Cathay won, but lost 300 soldiers to civilians who knew they couldn't win. Proxima Station responded to surrender demands with a single word: no. Its defense fleet was destroyed within an hour, but not before taking 17 Cathay warships with it. Again and again, the pattern repeated. Small colonies. Research stations. Mining outposts. They chose death over submission. The most disturbing case was Hope's End, a mining settlement of just 300 people. When Cathay ships arrived, the miners detonated massive hydrogen storage tanks. The explosion destroyed the colony and 12 warships in a fireball visible across 3 star systems. 300 humans for 12 ships. The mathematics terrified Valner. Then came the footage from Outpost Meridian. 15 humans had destroyed 3 warships. Scientists. Engineers. Not soldiers. Valner watched the final moments on repeat, the human commander guiding her burning station into his ship, smiling as she died. For the first time in 6 centuries of conquest, the Cathay felt something unfamiliar. Fear. Humans did not fight for victory. They fought for principle. They fought because surrender felt worse than death. And when an entire species believed that, they became unstoppable. The Cathay High Council convened in emergency session. They had conquered 14 species. Ruled for 6 centuries. Resistance had always been brief. Predictable. Manageable. Humans were none of those things. Attempts at terror failed. When a colony called Freedom Point was obliterated, 8 million dead, the remaining colonies didn't surrender. They fought harder. The Council's strategist presented human history. World wars. Insurgencies. Civilians turning every tool into a weapon. Superior forces losing not because of weakness, but because people refuse to stop fighting. You cannot conquer a species that will not accept conquest, he said. Valner understood the danger. If enslaved species learned the Cathay could be hurt, the empire would fracture. A final decision was reached. Earth. 90% of humanity still lived there. If Earth fell, perhaps the colonies would follow. 6,000 warships, the largest fleet in Cathay history, assembled for the assault. As Valner watched them prepare, doubt crept in. He had seen what 15 humans could do. What would 9 billion do? The fleet jumped toward Earth. The largest battle in Cathay history was about to begin. And Valner suspected that even victory would come at a cost beyond calculation.